In an empire obsessed with luxury, power, and the avoidance of suffering, two brothers chose to walk in the absolute opposite direction. While the world sought anesthesia, they lived healing. While many feared pain, they offered themselves out of love. This is not a soft or romanticized narrative about saints. It is the firm, truthful, and deeply transformative account of the lives of Saint Cosmas and Saint Damian, physicians who cared for the body without ever forgetting the soul, who proved, through their very surrender, that faith can go far beyond any human limit. Born twins in the region of Arabia, from an early age, they displayed remarkable intelligence. They studied medicine and stood out for the precision with which they understood human suffering. At that time, caring for the body was in many cases linked to pagan rituals. Healing was negotiated, health had a price. With time, reports began to appear of healings for which there was no explanation. People without hope returned home, restored. Patients considered incurable returned to normal life. There were occasions when, confronted with despair and the imminence of death, they applied solutions that surpassed the medical knowledge of the era. Medicine would still take many centuries to understand some of the procedures attributed to them. These events attracted attention, first admiration, then distrust, finally persecution. Local authorities realized that those healings did not increase political prestige or wealth, but pointed to something Rome could not control: faith. And when a miracle cannot be explained by men, it becomes a challenge to the powerful. Cosmas and Damian were brought before the governor. He offered them status, comfort, influence. He only asked that they deny Christ. They answered serenely, "We heal because he heals. To live without the truth would be worse than to die." Then attempts began to make them renounce by force. Although subjected to successive punishments, nothing seemed capable of conquering them. They remained lucid, calm, and steadfast, as if there were in them a life that no blow could reach. For many witnesses, that resistance became proof of something greater than medicine, proof of faith. At last, they were executed, but the silence expected after death did not come. On the contrary, their names spread throughout the region. Miracles continued to be reported, now attributed to their intercession, and especially people connected with healthcare began invoking them as patrons, seeking in them not only technical ability, but genuine compassion. The story of Saints Cosmas and Damian confronts us. It shows that greatness is not revealed in the absence of suffering, but in the way one faces pain. They did not seek recognition, but truth. They did not serve for prestige, but for love. They did not fear death, because they knew that the final word belongs to life. They remind us of something essential. Tending the body is important, but healing the soul is indispensable. Medicine restores movement. Faith restores meaning, and when both meet, something is born that neither reason fully explains nor time erases. If this story provokes you, perhaps it is because it touches a wound deeper than the physical, the wound of emptiness. Just as those men chose to trust beyond the visible, today we are called to something similar. The answer is not in fleeing, but in taking responsibility. It is not in anesthesia, but in courage. Healing is not the absence of pain, it is the presence of truth. Those who seek sincerely find, and if they have found, now it is time to live.